Circles everywhere. I'm telling you, the fact that there's different size circles is insane. He had it, and he fumbled it. Whatever goodwill he built today, he had 2 episodes from now a relationship. Now, season 2, depending on how it goes. So I finally got around to checking out Grand Blue. I know, but I never really saw season 1. I saw some clips, I seen some jokes, but I said, hey, season 2 just around the corner, it's time for me to finally jump aboard. So let's talk about Grand Blue Season 1. And if you drop a like, show your support. If I see enough support on this video, maybe I'll try Season 2 on the channel. No promises. These shows don't always do great for me. So drop a like, hit subscribe so you can stay up to date if I do cover this one, of course, on the channel. And hey, if you do want to see my full thoughts on all the episodes of Season 1, we do got the Patreon, full live reactions, and exclusives over there. So, my simplest way to put this show, comedy gold. Every time I thought I knew where they would go, a couple of things happened. They'd be naked, and it wouldn't be where I expected. The only consistent in this series is that 9 out of 10 times they would be naked. And I think my favorite gag, and it's something that maybe I invented in my head, maybe it's not supposed to be that way, but for the most part, the size of the circles that cover their junk is pretty consistent. Yet for our MC Iori, he always had a fairly small circle, and that really cracked me up. The idea of Grand Blue being it presents itself as a diving anime. And I'll admit, especially second half onwards, it does focus on diving more. But I think really at the end of the day, it's like Japanese American Pie, and I really like that about it. You have a college story with a bunch of drunk lunatics, who I will be shocked if by the end of the story's run, if their liver survives. They're failing tests, they're diving for their leisurely activities, and of course, they're trying to get laid too along the way. And to be honest, I think they have more chances of getting laid with each other, all of the men, than most of the women, because the great thing about how stupid of an MC Iori is that half the time, I look at him and I'm like, boy, you got it. Like, she's smiling. You're crushed. She likes you. Like, this is and then he just has to open his mouth. I forget what episode it is. Maybe it's like episode 6 or something. The whole thing about it is that she's pretty, like, stubborn, but, like, she really wants him to enjoy diving, right? And for the first bit, he's like, I don't give a shit about diving. And of course, that pushes her away because that's a pastime that she enjoys. And he finally is like, I get it. Like, it's beautiful down there. And she's, like, super happy about it. And the way he finishes that brilliant big brain play is, yeah, your ass looked great down. And I'm like, a time and a place, my boy. You haven't secured the W. Leave the ass comments alone. And it's just such a stupid show. Like, the show is absolutely idiotic. And it's really funny because obviously anime's evolved since when this came out. So you see a lot more of this kind of lewd, crude comedy anymore. But when the show initially aired, these types of shows weren't really seen that much. Like, yeah, if you rewind back in the day, Golden Boy, right? Like, that type of stuff, it has existed, but it's never really been mainstream in terms of anime production. So it's really cool to see a show that was, in a way, ahead of its time. Finally coming back for season 2, of course, as well. And it has a really fun art style. And I think my favorite thing is, like, always wondering, are they gonna have to reuse the same joke faces I've seen? Or are they going to find a new way to continue make new ones? And for the most part, every episode more or less had a new funny phase. Half the time I thought I was looking at Joey Wheeler from Yu-Gi-Oh! And then the other half I was like, am I looking at Eren and Annie from Attack on Titan in their Titan forms? Like, what are these faces I'm seeing? It's just such a ridiculous thing. And I love how much of, like, frenemy and I hate you, but, like, we stick together energy. It was just such a fun show. Like, it hit my funny bone right away. I could completely understand if someone tried the show, whether it initially came out or they're gonna recently try because season 2 is around the corner, and they just don't vibe with it. Like, if people will come up and say, this shit was, like, boring, or I thought it was cringe, whatever, I get that. Comedy, especially this type of comedy, it's probably one of the harder ones to sell if you don't just immediately like it. But if you're like me, who grew up on the American Pie movies, probably watching them a little too young before I should. I grew up on South Park. Like, this type of shit is just really funny to me. And while it's not the most, like, consistently, if you watch this show, and it's really funny when you think of it, because half the shit that gets like criticized anymore, art consistency, is stuff that's always been around in anime. But had season 1 aired today, I'm sure like people would be ripping on like the fact that there is a lot of inconsistencies with the art. But the show's a comedy, it never really bothers me. So I'm really hoping that when season 2 comes out, if it's mostly looks the same as season 1, I don't see the same brain dead takes of like, oh my god, how did they rush out this production? What blah. It's like, this show looks like an anime. It looks like a comedy anime. And I think they stuck the style, like they stuck the landing of the style well. And when it needed to be beautiful, especially in the water stuff, or there's this one scene like episode 3 or something where they walk through like an aquarium like thing, so like the water and the fish are like all surrounded, but obviously they're breathing air. There's a lot of really beautiful things about it, but in general, the heart and soul of the show is the cringe college humor comedy. And the way they can go from, hey, here's this character who looks like a jester. Okay, now she doesn't have a face full of makeup and she looks like a normal person. Or the fact that one of the female leads basically acts like one of the guys, which means she too will strip down to nothing. And I think out of all of them, Chisa was honestly my favorite, which is surprising because a lot of times her type of character I might find insufferable, but at the end of the day, I felt like she was the most normal of the cast and like had a reason to mostly be pissed off at them. She also had a lot of really funny moments, like when she pinned Iori as her boyfriend in front of the entire school so that people would leave her alone and then just target him. I was like, it's so funny, man, but like I completely get why she did that, and he was so confused. Like, that's one thing I like about the show, is it doesn't go the episodic route of like, okay, so now new episode, we completely forgot about what happened before. Like, it picks up from where it left off, which may sound like a weird thing to say because a lot of anime do that, but when you're more comedy focused, a lot of anime don't do that. They just say, oh, here's a gag we ended the previous episode on, we're just never going to touch upon it again. But if you end an episode saying that, oh, I'm dating him and everyone hates me, the next episode, they still hate him because they're like, what the hell? And then it leads into, can you teach us our ways, sensei? Like, how did you land the one beauty? Like, it's just, I like it. They got a lot of funny twists on tropes. Like, you got the siscon trope where she wants to huff her underwear. You heard me right. It is an abundance of chaos. And I had an absolute blast watching it. Now, I'm not sure, by the time this video goes up, I think I've finished it. I still have a few episodes left to watch as of the recording of this video. But either way, I've been having a really fun time just casually watching it, just laughing my ass off, because it hits my humor just perfectly. I don't remember why I didn't watch it when it initially aired. I think it was a mixture of I was more limited on time, and also I wasn't necessarily looking for this type of comedy at the time. But it's perfect, because I got to watch it just before Season 2 drops. I was ready for this type of show, and to be honest, if they gave me exactly what I've seen in Season 1, and just continue more of it, like just imagine Season 1 was a 2-core, I'd be perfectly fine with Season 2. I really enjoyed it. It's dumb as hell, and that's really all I want out of it. But you can let me know what you thought down below of Season 1, whether if you recently checked it out, just like myself, or you've been on the hype train ever since it dropped Season 1. What did you think, and who's your personal favorite character and looking forward to see more of? Let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring the bell, and hey, Patreon, that's where the full live reactions live, and, you know, depending on how this video does, I probably will try Season 2 on the channel, but there's no promises I continue Season 2 on the channel, as often comedies don't do well. So if you want to see more, please, for love of God, comment, like. It does help get the video out there, and in return, it says to me I should make more. But otherwise, Patreon. And hey, if you're over on my Patreon, I'll also give you a video shout-out. So today, we got John Menger, Gabber Tim, Ocean Liao, Valorix, David Story, Athmil, Catacol, Big Boy J, Cryptic, Blood iOS, Samantha, and we also have that random man, Anime Man. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. Have a good one.